So if you know me, you know that I hate math. Well, more specifically, I don't like doing math. I just really hard, really hard level math. For me, is pre-calc. I cannot do pre-calculus. I'm also a high school student, so I suck at pre-calculus, but I got through it. So I hate doing the math, but I think it's so interesting to watch people do math, like really hard level maths, like real analysis, mathematical topology, numerical theorem. I love watching that. So I'm thinking, why don't I just talk about or research some things that I like doing, that I like to talk about. And today we're talking about Graham's number. So for the time that I have this computer from my school, I will be using it and to make me look cooler. So let's do it. I also can't type well. So oh, that's great. Premier League standings. I do understand a little bit of it. I understand like how it is. So before I do any of that, let's take out my notebook. This is my math notebook. Yeah, it has a lot of math problems in there. Probably never using it again, and I hope I never use it again. Maybe for taxes, that's it. So I understand a little bit. I'll tell you for right now, like the bare minimum that I know about Graham's number, and then we'll research it. So Graham's number is basically a really, really big number. I think that is a surprise to absolutely no one that probably is watching this video, because y'all are probably smarter than me. But Graham's number is a large number in comparison, as we saw in the video. Actually, give me a second. I had it right here, so I have a Sharpie so it's easier for you to see it. So anyways, Graham's number is basically a really big number. It's not the biggest number we know of, but it is a big number that we know. So the only thing is you should probably understand is that Graham's number can be expressed. It's so big, first off, it's so big that you can't physically write it out, okay? Too many zeros, too many numbers that you cannot write it out ever, because it's one of those numbers where it's to the point of trying to write it out is more than the atoms of the universe. So it's kind of hard to understand and imagine. So as like the only thing I have as my title, you can express it as G64. Now going further into it, if you want to write it out a little bit more, you can't use regular notation that we know of. You have to use the arrow notation from tetration. So tetration, I'll do another video on that, because I don't know too much of it. But if you want to actually write it out, you have to write it out in tetration form. Let me look it up. And one of the ways to write it, let's get to the arrow form. So tetration is one of the forms of writing in tetration, is like doing arrows like that. That's a form of tetration. So perfectly, I have the example here. To write it out, you would have to do G is equal to 3 to 3 arrow arrow dot 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 dot, because it's too big for you to include all the arrows. Arrow 3, and then you have to put the arrows in like that, and then do it all over again. Keep writing it. So let me just try to do this, like, so you can get a cool picture of it. I suck at writing this. You are so happy you did not learn tetration in school. I am. So, from what I think I know about this number, is that you have to write it out like that. That's what I get. That's the written out response of Graham's number, tetration wise, with the arrows, dots incentivizing the points, I think, and you have to do this process a repeated of 64 times, I think. It's just way too big for you to write out in numericals. You have to write it out like this. So it's this process repeated 64 times. I think that's how you do it. So that's basically Graham's number. So that's the most I'll do, because I don't. This is too high of a level math. I do not understand any of this. I just watched some videos on it. Just put it right there. I want to like research like its background. So yeah, so that's what it was. It was basically what I just wrote with those dots incentivizing more arrows, just really too many arrows repeated 64 times. That's insane. It's also represented in the other form of tetration, where it's just like threes all across the board, so it's like absolutely impossible for you to actually remember this. It's too big for us to comprehend. That's basically what it is. Wikipedia, that's definitely the best thing for us to look at. Wikipedia, Graham's number is an immense number that arose as an upper bound on the answer of a problem of mathematical field of Ramsey theory. So it's a number that came out of a answer from a problem in Ramsey theory. That's insane. It is larger than many other large numbers like Square's number, Moser's number. It's larger than the Googleplex, which is already a massive number that really can't be put into explanation. I'll make a video explaining it, somewhat researching it. If you want a video of someone explaining numbers, there is real life lore. His video is pretty good. You should go check it out. So this is why, okay, I remember this. This is why it's so big and so impossible for us to comprehend, because these numbers are getting to the point where they're too big for us to imagine, mainly because it's too big it's too big for the observable universe. These numbers incentivize something that is far bigger than our observable universe, and that's insane. Honestly, that's incredible, and that's something that we physically as humans cannot comprehend this, and it's honestly just fascinating. That's just fascinating that we can actually understand this. It's so much bigger that we don't understand it even when it gets down to Planck volume. That's how big it is. If you don't know, Planck volume is the smallest like area or thing we can break down something to becoming, because it's supposed to be the size of an atom is what we break it down to for us to count, and even that you cannot count or comprehend the Graham's number. Worst part about this is that I'll make another video. There are bigger numbers than Graham's number. So there are bigger numbers than Graham's number. We can get to tree 3. And that's even worse. If you can barely comprehend this, you can't really comprehend tree 3. So I'll make a video on that. Let's explore this rabbit hole together. So that's the end of the video. If you were looking for an explanation or something, I'm sorry, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm just a dude in high school that likes looking at really complicated math things alongside more other stupid things that I do, like retro bowl skits and shit like that. So I just wanted to talk about it because I find it interesting and do it as a rabbit hole. That's basically what YouTube is, huh? You're supposed to do what interests you most. So this is really out for anyone that watches my videos normally. This is incredibly out of character for me, but I mean, it shouldn't get to more. It shouldn't get to other things. So yeah, I'm gonna keep doing more videos like this because I like understanding this. And also if you want, I'm also probably gonna start a series. You know how I started my Plants vs Zombies ranking or rating the plants. I'm going to probably start a new thing, continue that. I need to be more consistent with that one, but I also am going to start a new one, which is going to be me researching every element on the periodic table, because it's another weird obsession I have now. So I'm going to be doing that too. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe please. If you are a normal viewer, do not unsubscribe. Retro Bowl and sports will still be readily available on my YouTube channel. I'm just going to be doing a lot of weird, stupid things. Like I told you, my YouTube is not confined to one niche. I do whatever I feel like doing. So there's probably going to be something in my YouTube for you. Terrible quality, but something in here for you. So yeah, that's it. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.